invitations to go present at career days for elementary schools. Yes. So just other Fort Bend ISD schools, and I just don't know if I can fit them in. That's the problem. I'd love to. It was fun. I guess so. Annie, sorry, would you turn the the camera on? There we go. Perfect. Audio's on. You in yet, Annie? Yep, I just pulled you in. I just made you co-host. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Morning, Judge.
Doggett, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very well. All right, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We're on the record in 25 CPR 042079, estate of Mark Paul Schwenke. All those who intend to testify, you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Very good. And I apologize if I mispronounced the name.
it was perfect.
Mr. Doggett, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Could you please say your full name for the court?
Robin Ashworth Schwenke,
And how are you related to Mark Paul Schwenke?
spouse.
And did your husband pass away on November 28, 2022 in Fort Bend County, Texas at the age of 66?
Yes,
And at the time of his death, was he a resident of and domiciled in Fort Bend County, Texas?
yes,
And did your husband leave a will which is dated February 25th, 2011?
yes,
And did he ever revoke his will?
no,
At the time he executed his will, was he at least 18 years old and of sound mind?
yes,
And 4 years haven't elapsed since the date of your husband's death and when we filed the application to probate.
no,
Were any children born to or adopted by your husband after he executed his will?
no,
Did your husband have any marriages dissolve after he executed his will?
no,
And is the state of Texas a governmental agency or charitable organization named in the will?
no,
And does a necessity exist for the administration of your husband's estate?
yes,
And you're named as the independent executor in your husband's will.
Yes.
And you're not disqualified from accepting letters testamentary.
No.
You don't have any criminal convictions, such as a conviction for theft or another crime of moral turpitude or any felonies, right?
No.
And so there's no reason why you cannot be appointed as an independent executor.
No.
And on the screen here, do you recognize this as the signature page from your husband's will?
Yes.
And is that your husband's signature?
Yes.
And so you're asking the court to admit your husband's will to probate and appoint you as the independent executor without bond.
Yes.
And we're asking also that appraisers be waived.
Yes.
That's all I have, Judge.
All right, the court heard the testimony of Robin Ashworth Schwenke. She testified as to the proof of death, validity of the will, and other facts. The court will admit the will and probate and appoint Ms. Schwenke as independent executrix to serve without bond, and appraisers will be waived. Ma'am, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Mr. Doggett, is there anything further for the record?
No, Your Honor.
All right, y'all have a great day then.
You too.
Whenever you're ready. Mr. Andreessen?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. Would you mind turning on your camera? There you go.
There we go.
Is that your client with you?
Yes, Mr. Rathnow will be giving testimony.
Very good. All right. Are y'all ready to proceed?
Do you need to swear him in?
I am. Let's get on the record first. We're on the record in 24 CPR 041910. Estate of Heather Renee Rathnow, and I apologize if I mispronounce that name. All those who intend to testify, if you'd raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir, I do.
Very good. Mr. Andreessen, you may take it from here.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please state your name for the record.
Ronald Allen Rathnow.
Is it true that Heather Renee Rathnow was your wife?
Yes, she was.
And is it true that she died on August the 25th, 2024 in Katy, Fort Bend County, Texas at the age of 66 years?
Yes, that's correct.
And is it true that she was domiciled and had a fixed place of residence in Fort Bend County at that time?
Yes, she did.
Now, the document dated November the 9th, 2022, which was previously filed with your application and is in the court's file. That document purporting to be your wife's will and is now on the screen. Can you identify that as Heather's last will and testament?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. And did she ever revoke that will as far as you know?
No, she did not.
Your Honor, at this time, I ask that you take judicial notice that the original of the document identified as the decedent's will is in the court's record.
The court shall take judicial notice.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rathnow, is there a need for this estate to be administered? And for you to be appointed the executive?
Yes, of course. Yes, yes.
And while we have the will up, just let me ask you to identify, is that your wife's signature on?
It
on the-
is.
Okay.
It is. That's correct.
Thank you. And is it true that there were no children born to or adopted by your wife after the date of this will?
No children.
And there was no marriage dissolved by divorce or annulment after that date. Is that correct?
No, none whatsoever.
Okay. And the will does not name the state or governmental agency of the state or a charitable organization as a beneficiary. Is that correct?
No, it does not.
Now, you are named to serve without bond or other security as the independent executor. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you are here asking the court to award letters testamentary to you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you know of no reason why you would be disqualified from serving.
None at all. No.
Thank you. Your Honor, we ask that the will be admitted to probate, that Mr. Rath now be appointed the independent executor without bond, and we've asked that appraisers be waived.
Court heard the testimony of Ronald Allen Rathnow. He testified as to the proof of death, validity of the will, and other facts. The court will admit the will into probate and appoint Mr. Rathnow as independent executor to serve without bond, and appraisers will be waived. Mr. Rathnow, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Mr. Andreessen, anything further for the record?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
You too. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Bellman. Are you there?
Morning, Judge. I'm here with my witnesses.
Okay, wonderful. You have everybody there, the applicant and two witnesses?
Yes, I do.
Very good. All right, we're on the record in 25 CPR 042014, State of Dilip Kumar Duda. All those who intend to testify, if you would raise your right hand. Each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yeah.
Very good. And I apologize if I mispronounced the name.
No, I think you got it right. didn't you?
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Bellman, you can take it from here.
Okay. I'll start with you. Could you state your name, please?
Shukti Dutta.
Okay. And Mr. Duda was your husband, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And he was a resident of Fort Bend County?
yes,
Okay. And he passed away on December the 8th, 2024, which is less than 4 years ago. Is that correct?
right.
Okay. And at the time, he did a will, which we have filed with the court as a copy, since the original was not able to be located. But we do have witnesses that will prove the handwriting. In his will, it named you as his independent executor. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay. And after the date of that will, you didn't have any additional children or change in your
No.
marital status. And it doesn't name a state, government agency, or charity as a beneficiary. Is that correct?
No,
And there's no debts. And as far as you know, that he never received or applied for any Medicaid benefits.
no,
Okay. And they've got his will on the screen there. You were present at the time the will was signed.
yeah,
Okay. And as far as you know, that is a copy of the original will, the way it was done, and that would be his signature on there. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. Nothing further of this witness, Your Honor.
All right, you can call your next witness.
Thank you. Could you state your name, please?
Shelby Sahasios.
Okay. And how did you know Mr. Duda?
Since childhood, family, friends.
Okay. And you're familiar with his handwriting or signature. And this is what we have filed with the court as his will. Is that, to the best of your knowledge, is that his original signature? And at the time this will was done, he would have been over the age of 18.
Yes.
Okay. And nobody's paying you to be here today, and you're not a beneficiary under the will. Is that
No.
correct? Okay. Nothing further of that witness, Your Honor.
Call your next witness.
Could you state your name, please?
Rupinder Datta.
Okay. And you're familiar with Mr. Duda?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you known him?
Almost 20 years.
Okay, and you're familiar with his signature and
Yes.
handwriting, and we've shown you, we have also have a local copy of the same thing that's on the screen, is that correct?
Yes,
And to the best of your knowledge, that's his original signature?
it is.
Okay, and nobody's paying you to be a
No,
witness, or you're not a beneficiary?
no.
Nothing further, Your Honor, we just ask that you accept the will as a muniment of title, and it names his wife, who's the only beneficiary. So we're asking for a waiver of the affidavit of fulfillment.
All right, the court heard the testimony of Sutki Dutta, Rapender Duda, and Salipi Seals. They testified as to the proof of death, validity of the will, and other facts. The court will admit the will and probate, the copy of the will, I should say, and to probate as a muniment of title, and I'll waive the affidavit of fulfillment of terms as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further?
Nothing further.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe they're with one of the attorneys. Ms. Kasparidis, do you have your applicant with you?
Yes, sir. She's right here.
Let's just give Mr. Murad a moment to connect.
Oh, good morning, everyone.
Morning. All right, I do believe everybody is connected. We're on the record in 24 CPR 041-898, estate of Blake Vincent Peterson. All those who intend to testify, if you would raise your right hand to be sworn by the court. Each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, if I could just get Mr. Lancaster and Armstrong to verbally respond. If you'd unmute yourself, please.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, y'all can lower your hands. And Counselor, you can proceed with your prove up. Let's start with the airship first. After we've concluded the airship, we'll move into the administration.
Sure thing. For my first witness, I'll call Richard Lancaster. Mr. Lancaster, would you please state your name for the court?
Yeah, it's Richard Lancaster,
And where do you currently live?
Katy, Texas.
And how did you know Blake Vincent Peterson?
He was one of my best friends.
And how long did you know Mr. Peterson?
Over about 7 years.
And you have knowledge of who his immediate family is, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Peterson was married to Lucia Sonia Peterson at the time of his death, correct?
Yes.
And no child or children were born to or adopted by the decedent, is that correct?
Yes.
And you haven't heard of or met any child who claimed to be a child of or adopted by Mr. Peterson, correct?
Yes.
And if Mr. Peterson had any children, you believe you would have known that, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Peterson is survived by his father, Eric Peterson, but his mother, Hilda Peterson, predeceased him on March 28, 2020, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Peterson is also survived by his brother, Kent Peterson, and had no other siblings, correct?
Yes.
And did Mr. Peterson ever talk to you about having a will?
No.
And to the best of your knowledge, did he die without a will?
Yes.
And you are not being paid to be here, nor do you have a financial interest in this estate. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, we'll pass the witness to the ad litem.
Murad.
Mr. Lancaster, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Do you remember we spoke on the phone about a month ago?
Yes, I do.
And I asked you a bunch of questions very similar to the ones you were just asked.
Yes, sir.
Could you please help us understand how it was that you got to know Blake?
I actually had met Lucia first, Lucia and his brother Kent. They were some of my close friends, and over time, through them, I got to know Blake as well. And Blake
Okay.
became one of my best friends.
Okay. And you're also friends with Blake's brother, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you know the family really well. You know his wife and his brother.
Absolutely.
And you knew them before you knew Blake.
Yes.
So if there were any children or any other blood relatives, you would certainly know who they were, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So just one brother and Blake's father are still alive, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Call your next witness.
All right, I'll call Mr. Travis Armstrong. Mr. Armstrong, would you please state your name for the court?
Yep. Travis Glenn Armstrong,
And where do you currently live?
Batavia, Ohio.
And how did you know Blake Vincent Peterson?
He was my best friend.
And over how long did you know Mr. Peterson?
About 14 years.
And you have knowledge of who his immediate family is, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Peterson was married to Lucia Sonia Peterson at the time of his death, correct?
Yes.
And no child or children were ever born to or adopted by Mr. Peterson, correct?
Yes.
And you haven't heard of or met any child who claimed to be a child of or adopted by Mr. Peterson, correct?
Yes, correct.
And if Mr. Peterson had any children, you believe that you would have known about them, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Peterson is survived by his father, Eric Peterson, but his mother, Hilda Peterson, predeceased him on March 28, 2020, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Peterson is also survived by his brother, Kent Peterson, and had no other siblings, correct?
Yes.
And did Mr. Peterson ever talk to you about having a will?
No.
And to the best of your knowledge, did he die without a will?
Yes.
And you are not being paid to be here, nor do you have a financial interest in this estate. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Your Honor, I pass the witness to the ad litem.
Mr. Armstrong, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you?
Good. And likewise, you remember speaking with me in early March,
Yes, sir.
and I asked a lot of questions very similar to the ones you were just asked?
Yep.
Okay. Could you please help us understand your background with Blake, how it is you got to know him?
Yeah. Went to school with him, met him and Lucia actually same day in the parking lot of Texas Tech, where we were going to school.
Right. So where are you originally from?
I'm originally from California, grew up in East Texas, and was going to college out in West Texas in Lubbock.
Okay. And now you're in Ohio.
Correct. Yep.
And about how long again did you say you knew Blake total time?
Total time would have been about 13 years at the time of his passing.
Okay. If he had any family members, blood relatives, you would certainly know who they were, right?
Absolutely.
And so he's survived only by his father and his sibling, correct?
Correct.
Blood relatives, and then his wife, the surviving spouse, correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay. And if he had a will, you likely would have known. That's something he probably would have told you about.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And to your knowledge, there isn't one, right?
That is correct. There's no will.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any further witnesses for the airship?
No, sir.
And Mr. Murad, your fee is $650, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, just the standard fee.
After listening to testimony of Richard Lancaster and Travis Armstrong, the court finds by clear and convincing evidence, scenes errors are those listed in the judgment declaring airship. I'm going to discharge Mr. Murad as attorney ad litem in this case and award him a fee in the amount of $650. Mr. Murad, you're free to go. Thank you for your assistance in this case.
Thank you, Judge. Thanks, everyone.
Mr. Lancaster, Mr. Armstrong, thank you for your assistance and proving this up this morning. You're free to go if you like at this time, but you're welcome to watch the rest of the proceedings if you want.
Thank you.
All right, Counselor, why don't you go ahead and call your witness for the administration?
Yes, I will call Lucia Sonia Peterson. Mrs. Peterson, I know it's very emotional. We're just going to take it slow, okay? So if you need to take a breath, please feel free, okay? Please state your name for the court.
Lucia Sonia Peterson.
And are you the wife of Blake Vincent Peterson?
Yes.
And did he pass away on October 25th, 2024 in McKinley County, New Mexico at the age of 33?
Yes.
And has it been less than 4 years since his date of death? It's okay, take your time.
Take your time. No rush.
Yes.
And did he have a domicile and fixed place of residence in Fort Bend County at the time of his passing?
Yes,
And as far as you know, your husband died without a will, correct?
correct. Yes,
And did you diligently search for a will and still could not find one?
yes,
And can you please describe the efforts you undertook to locate a will?
yes. I first searched his safe. He has a pretty big safe in our master bedroom, where he would keep all important documents, USB drives. I looked through all the paperwork in there, all the USB drives he had in that safe, checked those USB drives, went through those, also checked his personal computer, went through all of that, and I have not come across any indication he had a will.
Thank you. And there is a need for administration of this estate, but there is no need for a court-appointed appraiser, correct?
Yes,
And all of the heirs have consented to your appointment, and you are not disqualified from serving as independent administrator and from receiving letters of administration, correct?
yes,
Your Honor, at this time, we ask that Lucia Sonia Peterson be appointed as independent administrator to serve without bond and other security, and we ask that you waive appraisers because this is a non-taxable estate.
After listening to testimony of Lucia Sonia Peterson, the court finds the decedent died intestate and there is a necessity for administration. The court will grant the request the applicant appoint Ms. Peterson as independent administrator of the estate. Ms. Peterson, I'm very sorry for your loss.
thank you.
Counselor, anything further for the record?
No, that's it at this time, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Right. You'll have a good day.
Thanks, you as well.
Are we waiting on?
Weathers may have been replaced by Mr. Orlando.
Okay, we'll bring him in. Let's find out. Has he made an appearance in the case? Mm-hmm. So I see as well. Mr. Filato,
Morning, Your Honor.
morning. Can you tell me what case you are here on?
I'm here on the Brinson matter.
Have you made an appearance in the case?
No, I have not.
Okay. And can you tell me who you represent in this case then?
I represent the co-executrix Vivian Chiser.
Okay. One moment. We're going to come back to you in just a second. Okay. We're going to bring in the next case and then we're going to come back in just a moment. Let's put them back in and let's bring in the next case. And then I want to look at something.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is a transfer in. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. Okay. We're on the record in 25 CPR 042124, guardianship of Crystal Marie Mendieta. Who do I have here? I've got Miss Mohammed. You're the caseworker in this case?
Yes, I'm the guardian for Crystal.
Okay, just raise your right hand real quick. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Lower your hand. All right, so the code requires that all transfer in hearings or all transfer in cases, guardianship cases have a brief hearing. This is more than just a welcome that I do each time with each case. Welcome you to County Court 1, outlining some of the requirements such as the filing of the report each year. We will send out a reminder on all guardianship cases. My staff will indicating when it's coming due within 30 days. And if at any point it becomes overdue, we'll send out an overdue notice as well. And then if it ever gets to the point, which I've never had this issue with that your agency by any means, but if it ever gets to that point, we do go to a show cause hearing after that. But I ask that all guardianships that the report get in timely on the essentially anniversary of the appointment of the guardian in the case. Any questions for the court on the guardianship?
No,
Okay,
I don't have any questions.
Mr. Love, do you have any questions for the caseworker?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Okay. All right. Being no questions, I will look forward to the report, when is the report due in this case? Let me just verify that.
Let's see, became effective, let's see, order transferring. I have it in the annual report that's attached, Your Honor. I don't have it up at this time.
Okay, well, I look forward to reviewing the annual report at some point in the near future.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Make sure they're always timely, Your Honor.
I never have any issues with y'all, so I don't expect it to be late by any means, but just to let you know, you will receive a notice from my. Okay. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And then all such letters be canceled of record and to the date of the swear. All right, before we proceed, Mr. Furlano, I was going through the case file. I don't see where you've made an appearance or a motion to withdraw was filed by Ms. Weathers. You stated you represent Vivian Chiser?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And when did this representation take place? Or when did when was it instituted?
Approximately a year ago. What was going on was this, Judge. The estate had been probated in your court. At that time, there were 2 independent co-executors. They were going ahead and handling the estate. And unfortunately, one of the executors passed away. And there was a question that arose concerning the deceased executor's replacement, and if all the funds had been acquired by the estate and distributed to the potential heirs. Initially, the heirs of the estate were the two co-independent executors. When the Freddie Cheeser died, he was the one of the co-executors. He left a will, and his will named his sister and his brother to receive his property. There's been some question from those folks as to what was being done in the estate. And so I was contacted by Terry Daniels. And at that time, we went ahead and did some discovery, gave her some information on how the estate was being handled, showed where the funds were coming in and where they were going. And that got to the point, unfortunately, where one of her clients decided, well, under the will of Mr. Brinson, that person had the right to be named as co-executor. And so my initial comment after talking with my client is, we've got no objection to that. But for some reason or other, they felt that they needed to proceed on that. And so I said that was fine. I said, if you want to go ahead, I said, you can submit a motion to me. I said, I'll be happy at that point on behalf of my client to sign off as an agreement and be, submitted to the court, and we don't need a hearing. But they decided they did want to go ahead and have a hearing, and so that's why we're here this morning, Judge.
Okay. All right. Then let's go ahead and get started. Ms. Daniels, we're on the record in 22 CPR 038170, estate of Grady Lee Brinson. All those who intend to testify, if you'd raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Okay.
Okay. Let the record reflect that the attorney Daniels and attorney Fulano are present on Zoom. Based on your statement that you just made a second ago, Mr. Fulano, that you are unopposed, we're going to go ahead and proceed with the prove-up by Ms. Daniels.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Are you going to have any questions of this witness?
No, Judge.
Okay, just wanted to verify. All right, Ms. Daniels, go ahead and proceed with your prove-up.
Okay, Your Honor, and may I offer just a wee bit of background as well?
You may.
Thank you. Just to kind of clarify, Mr. Fulano was correct. I did file an application, as the court knows, a petition for accounting and distribution. Mr. Fulano contacted me and we discussed it, and they tried to provide sufficient information. So I don't know if the court is concerned about that, but my client still questions some of the information that needs to be obtained regarding the state and closing it out. So it's not done with any kind of hostility. It's just a matter of them not having accurate, and me and Mr. Fulano and I have been communicating, and he's tried to provide as much as possible, but the client can be better, served by, my client can be better served by acting as an executive with Ms. Chiser to remove it, and of course, to move forward with this. And of course, Freddie Chiser is deceased, and of course, those letters are no longer proper in place. Now, I think what the court was asking earlier about Mr. Fulano's representation, I think he does appear on record as a Rule 11 agreement, but there may not have been a formal answer filed in behalf of Ms. Vivian Chiser. Was that the court's concern?
Yes, it's fine, though. He's not opposed to anything.
Yeah.
He's not going to ask any questions. So let's just proceed.
Okay. All right, Your Honor, I'd like to call forward Miss Deborah Chiser Wiley, but could you please state your name to the court?
My name is Deborah Chiser Wiley.
Okay. Miss Wiley, your brother was the independent executive. You're here asking the court to appoint you as the alternate co-executor to serve as an independent co-executive with Vivian Chiser.
Correct.
Okay, and there are certain qualifications in order for you to be appointed as an independent executor or co-independent executor, and those are based on the Texas estate codes. And we've gone over that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and that requires that you are able to handle this matter, and you don't have any, felonies or anything that would prevent you from qualifying,
No, I do not.
even though they do have exceptions now, but you don't have any physical or mental lack of capacity to manage this estate.
No,
I mean, to handle or perform as an independent executor.
I do not.
Okay, and that because the will named you, you're asking the court as an alternate co-independent executor, you're asking the court to allow you to serve in that capacity.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Chiza, could you just tell the court what your profession is?
I'm a registered nurse at Memorial Hermann Hospital.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
I've been there a total of 25 years.
Okay, and so you feel like you don't have any physical or mental infirmities or any other infirmities that will prevent you from serving in your capacity?
No, I do not.
Okay, and you're asking the court to appoint you as remove your brother, now deceased, passed in June of 2023, to remove him as the co-independent executor and to appoint you as the co-independent executor, and that you are willing to serve along with Miss Vivian Chiza, and you do have a relationship enough that you think you would be able to serve with her?
I do think so, yeah.
Because the pleading did ask that you could be alternatively, that she be removed and you be appointed, but you, at this point, you're asking the court to appoint you as the alternate co-independent
I
executor.
am, Your Honor.
Okay, and this is to resolve the final assets that you believe belong to the state and some dispute over property that the decedent owned in another county.
Yes,
And you would need to assist in that matter.
yes.
Okay, Your Honor, Miss Deborah Wiley, we don't use Chiza Wiley, but Miss Deborah Wiley, who is Mr. Brunson's stepdaughter, is asking the court to appoint her as the alternate co-independent director and asking the court to approve that appointment, that she serves in that capacity.
All right, the court of the testimony of Deborah Wiley. She testified as to the qualifications to serve as co-independent executor. The court will appoint Ms. Wiley as the co-independent executrix to serve without bond in this case.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, any further testimony for the record, or anything further for the record, I should say, Ms. Daniels?
May I just ask for there will reissue, she'll just have to do a reissuance of the letters by making the application. Does she once she files her oath, is that correct, Your Honor? Okay.
Mr. Furlano, thank you for your appearance today. Anything that you'd like to add?
No, at this time, Judge, I think everything is proper and in order, so we have no objections.
All right, very good. That concludes the hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
Judge. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.